haven't seen that many like white men in a room dressed in all black suits. You would think I was at the Congress. Like, you would think I was at like the Senate. Hi, welcome back. Super fun thing today. Going to a live taping of Late Night with Seth Meyers. Going by myself, and as a socially anxious girl, this is going to be a lot. So let's get ready together, get this beat together, get my mind together so that we can have some fun today, okay? Let's go. Okay, so I am eating. I haven't had any breakfast yet. Just a little bit of sausage, a little bit of hash browns. I added some salsa, and of course, having my coffee. All of these things are necessary because the last thing I want is to be like that close to Times Square or that close to like touristy areas and need something to eat. Like, everything's either really busy, really expensive, or like not that good, and or a combination of all those things. And we got food at the house, okay? I want to do like glowy, blushy. I've been like my last couple of videos just in my blush era, and I'm gonna keep that energy mostly because I feel beautiful, I feel cute, but also I am a little bit behind schedule with this one. I need to be like fully dressed out of here max in 90 minutes, which to a normal person that doesn't seem like that much of a time crunch, but like I'm doing full glam and I'm recording a YouTube video, and like I don't like rushing, so I do have like a built-in additional probably like 30 minutes after that, but I don't want to use it. I want to be able to not rush, you know? I'm super excited. I've been a fan of Seth Meyers for quite a while, but to know me, a lot of the shows that I watched that taped in New York no longer exist, whether that be the Wendy Williams show. To know me is to know I love Wendy Williams, or Do This and Marrow. All those shows that filmed in New York that, quite frankly, just no longer exist. I am sad about that, but you know, we can only do so much. And I'm really excited to see Seth Meyers, just because I like him. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's a funny comedian. So I just checked online. They said the guest is supposed to be Mindy Kaling. It says that sometimes interviews are like pre-recorded, so the guest is not even in studio, but I'm hoping she's there, and I'm hoping that it's a pretty good interview. I've been having a hard time with like my makeup on my mustache area staying on my face. Like, every time I look after a few hours, it's like crumbling apart on my upper lip. So I added a little bit more coverage on my like mustache upper lip area. I'm hoping that doesn't come back to like bite me and it's super like cakey or anything. I'm hoping that it just needed a little extra coverage so that, you know, throughout the day while I'm talking, eating, drinking, applying lip gloss, that it has a little bit more like something to hold on to, you know? So I have this delusion, and delusion is the right word, where Seth Meyers, someone on the Seth Meyers team, Mindy Kaling, shoot, they're gonna see me and be like, you don't need to be on that side of the camera. Come on this side. Let us interview you, girl. Like, I'm gonna be like, you know what, you're right. And I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna have my little interview, right? Delusional. But who knows? Like, maybe someone will see me and be like, you have something. Let's keep contact. Like, give me your contact information. And I'm gonna be like, queen, you got it. It all sounds delusional until it happens, right? It only takes one time. I'm saying, like, I know it feels delusional, but if the universe has that in store for me, who am I to not accept it, right? Okay, my face is really powdery, but to get back some of that shine, going in with Danessa Myricks Dewy Wet Balm. This is the shade Sweet Water, and just dabbing it right in. I use it as a blush, so I just put it where I put the blush, and it just like gives you like a skin-like glow back. Here is a look. I had to speed run. I am quickly running out of time. I would like to leave my house in like 15 minutes, maybe. I'm not dressed. My hair's not done yet. I'm not even fully done my makeup yet. So, speed running a little bit, but as you can see, just some lashes. Put a little top liner on. Gonna do my lips. You can tell on the camera, but like my upper lip is still breaking up. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my mustache. I don't know. but like makeup is not sticking well right here on my upper lip. What I do? Okay, so here's the makeup. She's cute, flawless. You can see the fro is froing. This is just the outfit. Nothing too crazy, just some Air Force Ones, jeans, a little bodysuit, and my little sweatita. And I'm gonna wear a coat and a purse, but this is just gonna be my fit San coat. What do you think? Cute? I'm gonna put a gloss on, but I'm gonna head out. I am running so late. Let's go together though. I'm gonna try to vlog as much as I can, at least like leading up to it, getting to the stew. But I don't know how much I can actually record once I'm in the building, but only one way to find out, girl. Let's go. Next day, I wasn't able to record after a certain point. Like, they're really strict on recording and I did not want to be kicked out, so I'm gonna wrap it up, kind of tell you about my experience, how I was able to get tickets, all that good stuff. If you didn't know, any of those like daytime television or like nighttime shows, they are free typically. Like, you just need to get a ticket, so the tickets are free. But because they're free, they are in like a lottery system. So like you're not guaranteed to get one, hence them being free. So, you know, don't think about it being like too expensive. It's a free experience. But you do have to like put in advance or get really lucky and get like a standby ticket. But you're not guaranteed a ticket. You have to put in super far in advance and you don't necessarily know who's gonna be like the guest at that time. Some shows seem to have like more projected who's coming earlier than some other ones, but for Late Night with Seth Meyers, I didn't really know who it was until like a couple days before, and there actually was two guests. Online they were only showing the one guest, which was Mindy Kaling, but there was also like the governor of Massachusetts. I don't know. She was there as well, and that was not publicized, so it's really like you kind of figure out who's going to be there once you are there. So yeah, that's really it. I think I put in for that ticket probably like a month in advance, and I put in a ticket for every day this week and I only got Wednesday. So I think it's just a random lottery, but I genuinely have no clue. Getting to the building pretty easy. You just put in the address, but like once you got into the building, it was kind of confusing. There's like zero, absolutely no signs, and like the person that helped me ended up putting me in the wrong line, which ended up not being that bad, but like could have been that bad if I wasn't like paying attention. So there, of course, in the building are filming multiple shows, and they start to like queue up the lines like hours before the show. So unbeknownst to me, I was in the wrong line. I was actually in the line for the Tonight Show, and they were filming later than Seth Meyers, so I was put in the wrong line. And luckily I just asked around kind of what everyone was in line for, and I ended up finding the right line. But there was Literally no signs, like not a single sign. There's a gajillion TVs and like screens in that space, but like nary one tells you where you're going or what that line is for. Like they could have like literally a piece of paper printed out that's like line for Q4 and then the show, because like there's so many things happening and like there's so many people in there and they're all looking for a different thing, you know, if that makes sense. And a lot of times people who go to these shows are tourists, and so they don't even know where they're at in general, so they definitely don't know where they're at inside this building. So it feels like kind of like the blind leading the blind. You're just hoping that you and the people around you are in the right place, because honestly it was kind of confusing. Even if you follow the details on the ticket as the best of your ability, it was very confusing, because the ticket says to like walk in and basically like walk up these steps and you'll get into the line. But like the line is like several steps before that are not at all outlined anywhere on the ticket or outlined anywhere in person. So you really do have to just like ask around and ask multiple people. Like don't just listen to one person, even if they work there. Like you got to ask around, ask several times, because I was literally maybe like, by the time I figured out what line I need to be in, they let in like another couple behind me and then they cut off the line. Like I was there and I waited in the wrong line for probably like 15-20 minutes before I realized, and luckily got to the right place literally in the nick of time. But like I would recommend getting there earlier, coming to the at the very early part of your like check-in window, because if you come to the later part of that window, the odds that even if you have a ticket that you're able to get in probably maybe pretty slim. Like it's better to get there and like 30 minutes before than like 30 minutes late, okay? Otherwise, the people that I encountered were really nice. I think they're called like pages. They're kind of like working in that building to help get audiences, help get everyone to the right place. What was interesting is that like the building definitely felt like you weren't supposed to be there. Like it was nice and whatever, but like you're so corralled, like you are literally escorted everywhere you go once you get to a certain point, that it felt like you couldn't like look around or like explore or like ask questions, because it was like one like moving quickly, like it was a well-oiled machine, but also like you were staying in a line, like just like this line to this line, and like you were like once you went through your ticket check and security, you were like corralled into this big room that had like a bathroom and chairs and whatnot, and you just literally sat there with no guidance. Like no one came on the mic. It was like, you're gonna sit here for an hour. Like once things started to move along, of course they had like announcements, but the room full of chairs, like couches and screens, but like not a single piece of guidance or instructions. Like this is my first time at a live taping, and like girl, I was confused. And that would be like my biggest complaint. I just wish it was a little bit more like transparent. Just like signage would help, or like you know, not to be like an old, but like just being like corralled into different rooms with no instructions, no guidance, no next steps, like makes me nervous. But like I said, I'm sure to them it operates like a well-oiled machine, but being on the side of like the audience member, someone who's new to this experience, it's just like a little bit confusing, a little bit overwhelming, and like fast paced. But basically you wait in this room until they tell you you can leave, and you have a number and you go and assemble in a number, and you're just like in a small group and you're corralled into a elevator. At this point you're no longer able to have your phones out, you will be kicked out, and you're just like in an elevator like full of people, and you go up on a random floor, you walk through a random hallway, and then you're just like in the studio. The hallway was cool. It had a lot of pictures of like old SNL, some of the newer SNL episodes. Like you got to see like all of the photography that's taken during these live tapings, which is cool. The studio was nice. Like I said, I was at the very end of the line, so I was pretty far back, which worked for me because I'm a little bit claustrophobic. So I was able to like sit in the last row and no one was behind me. So that was really helpful to not be like surrounded every like point around me by a person, a body. But the taping was cool. I thought that Seth Meyers was really funny. They had like a warm-up comedian who was just kind of like, doing crowd work, and it was really smooth, really fun, really pleasant. I would say you obviously see a lot of the stage manager, cameraman, cue cards, all that. What is interesting is I haven't seen that many like white men in a room dressed in all black suits. You would think I was at the Congress. Like, you would think I was at like the Senate. Like, it was just like a room full of white men. And it was like, okay. Once you're in the audience, you're not able to like leave and re-enter. So like no bathroom breaks, no water. It is like live. Like obviously it's not like on TV while you're currently there, but it like records like it's live, so it's really fast. They're doing all the segments, they're doing the little like pickups, like they're doing it all really fast. And even during some of the commercial breaks, they are like talking with you. Seth Meyers would come out and answer questions, stuff like that. So it really felt like you were entertained the entire time. All that to say, I had a really great time. I would definitely do it again. I really like Seth Meyers, but I would even be interested in going to some of the other shows, whether that be like the Tonight Show. I think Kelly Clarkson is in New York. I thought it was a really great experience. Me as a socially anxious person, I felt like not knowing what was happening was a little bit like disheartening, and I don't love being in crowds and you're like constantly in a crowd, and even when you're moving through the building you are in a crowd and you're like being corralled constantly. I didn't love that. I didn't expect that, but I definitely didn't love that. But now that I know, I can, prepare myself, and the next time I go, I will have, some type of basis, something to bounce off of to see kind of like what's going on. So that did make me nervous. I was very sweaty. Someone did ask me if I was like famous or an actor or a musician or something. They told me that like I had like the look, the spirit, the energy of like someone who was famous, and I was like, who, me? Like little old me? No. But anywho, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me pushing myself outside of my comfort zone to get out, do some fun things, explore, do things in the city, girl. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.